Welcome to Quite Simply. We quite simply chat about whatever we feel about chatting about on any given day. No fancy lights, no fancy microphones, no fancy editing. Just you, me, whatever's happening in my world. Today we are doing an eyeshadow declutter because I have a problem. I have exactly one eye here, and too many eyeshadow palettes. I just love putting colour on my lids. It's as simple as that. But even then, I do know that there's such a thing as too much and I have too much. And also, full disclosure, there might have been some festive onesies last night, so I'm a little bit dozy, a little bit tired. Doesn't happen very often. We're going with it. Just bear with my post onesie self. So, eyeshadow declutters. Let's start. I'll be honest, I don't know how much I'll be getting rid of. I'll be doing my best, but I do have this quite big habit of getting sentimental over palettes and not being able to throw them out, even though they are never touching these things ever again. But let's start off with one I do know that I'm getting rid of, and that is this palette that I bought for an article I wrote, oh gosh, quite some time ago, where I did a full face of makeup dupes from Temu. And this is clearly a dupe for another palette that I do own, the Natasha Denona Glam palette. Let me get that over here. Natasha Denona Glam palette versus this one. I'll be honest, it wasn't the worst. Kind of went a bit muddy. Some of the shimmers were really beautiful, like even more beautiful than this one, but the colour just kind of disappeared. Didn't have that much longevity. And also, when I plugged in all the ingredients, I don't know, some of them didn't make sense to the internet. So I was like, I don't know if I want that on my eyes or near my eyes. So anyway, I will be getting rid of this. It's unnecessary. By the way, anything that is gotten rid of that is I don't feel safe about goes. Anything that is okay, I will be passing on to my daughter after sanitizing it. This, of course, stays. Who's going to get rid of that? Not I. I love Natasha Denona's formula. Another formula you'll soon discover I adore is anything by ABH. This really needs to go. It's super old. I really did love most of the shades in here. Oh, but I feel so bad getting rid of it because I just loved it so much. I'm going to put it into a maybe pile. I just don't know if I can do it. That's Taupe. Colourpop. Loved this, but I am going to get rid of it because it is... Oh, am I? Oh, it's got those cooler tones, but hold on. If I look at it next to Natasha Denona, it's different. I'm going to put it in the maybe pile. I'm sucking at this. Oh. I'm never getting rid of this. I mean, for one, unfortunately, my daughter got into it and said she didn't, but so I kind of noticed she'd been in my room and suddenly one of my pants had been completely destroyed. But I just adore this palette. It's so pretty. I'll probably never use it again, or maybe I might use the right hand Mando. But yeah, no, absolutely stunning. So pretty and also cute. And it's Grogu. Still find that name weird, but that's okay. Baby Yoda for life. You stay. Oh, this Coloured Rain. I was so sad when Coloured Rain announced they were closing down. This palette is just stunning. I'll be honest, most of the shades don't really work for me, but I like to keep it just because it is gorgeous. So it's a memory, and one of the, you'll see there's a few of them that I've bought online, and I don't do that. I mean, I don't. These days it's normal, but it was one of my first purchases from something overseas and just sucking it up and paying for exorbitant shipping, which happens when you live on the other side of the world from everywhere else. So it stays. Staying is the NARS. What palette is this? Climax palette. Bought this last Christmas. Haven't used it anywhere near enough. Keep saying I will. I'm going to do it this winter. It's not really my vibe for summer, but it needs to get used, otherwise it's been a waste of money. Of course, I spoke about this the other day. The MAC palette's got a hair in it. Love it. I'll be wearing this all the time. Novena palette, totally trashed this one. Look at it. The state of it. Oh my goodness. Love the colours in it. Don't know that it'll ever go on my eyeballs again, but I can't bring myself to get rid of it just yet. But I know that I will. Probably. She says, I don't know, maybe next time. Another ABH palette. Love this. This stays purely because the Master palette by Mario is probably my favourite palette ever of all time. Look at all that pan. I actually had to go and find a dupe for Marina because I was so sad when it was that close to running out. Found one, love it. It's a NARS one. I'll show it to you later. But this stays because, again, it's one of the first palettes I ever spent a whole lot of money on shipping because I just knew I had to have it and no regrets. The Narcissist palette, Wanted palette. What are we doing? There it is. Looks like I've barely used it, but I actually have. I don't really know how I feel about it. I'm going to go shove it in the maybe pile because part of me wants to keep it because it costs so much money, but the other part of me never uses it. Love the Sultry palette by ABH. Adore it. It's had some really good use. I'll probably keep it. I'd never use it, but I can't quite bring myself to get rid of it. And I know that that's one that I can't even put in the maybe pile because I just adore it. So there we go. Let's move these all over here, make some space for the next lot. In we go. Okay, righto. Now we're going to go into one I know I'm getting rid of. I have had this sitting on my maybe pile for ages, the Wild palette by Huda Beauty. People loved this, but every time I tried to use it, I just couldn't get it to work very well. The shimmers weren't great, the mattes just didn't blend that well, and there was no love there from me, and I keep trying to love it and I can't love it. There's no point keeping it. This one stays. Bought this last Christmas. Pat McGrath Labs, sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. The Bijou Brilliance palette in Bronze Ecstasy. Adore this. It's going nowhere. This Glamour Natrix, you have my heart with this one, the Nearly Natural. I just adore this palette. Like on those days where I don't know really what I want to do with my eyes, I just grab this and it's just stunning, their formula. And I love that they're an Australian brand, so they're close to home and that's so good. Nice, always good to support local. I really should get rid of this Natasha Denona mini gold palette. It's another one of those ones that every time I use, I want to love it, but I can't seem to do it. Again, I'm putting it on the maybe pile because again, it's Natasha Denona and who just rinse themselves in Natasha Denona. Sigh. Alrighty, the Carly Bible palette from ABH. I think this was like reduced by half price and I was like, okay, I'll pay it for that. And to be fair, I really love some of these colours. This is still with plastic on it. Oh, yeah, it does. Like I love Mandala, I love Bible, I love Libra. It's all probably a bit too warm tone for me along here, but yeah, no, this stays probably for one more year. And then I can imagine next year I'll be saying au revoir to it. Another palette that I loved was the NARS Suede Voyager palette. There it is. As you can see, it had lots of pan. It was the perfect traveling palette. Every time I've gone anywhere, pop this in my makeup bag and off we go. And it's just so pretty. I think this will be another one that I can't quite get rid of yet because I have feelings for it. Who has feelings for eyeshadow palettes? Natasha Denona, the My Dream palette. This stays. Love this. It is warmer toned, but also I just find I really love the purples in here. It's really pretty. I never ever the Vision. It's like a duochrome. I don't know if there you go. It's just not my cup of tea. I don't find that maybe it's because I have very hooded lids. Duochromes just look a bit weird on me, and also because I am older, like I do prefer to try and keep things nice and light along most of the lid with maybe just a bit of smokiness out the edges there, but I still keep that. I love that. Oh, another ABH, this days. Adore this. People were not so fond of this because it didn't have like a darker matte, but I actually always found that the Liberty shade was quite good for just darkening up the edges, but it's just the most pretty palette. She really, this one felt like a good comeback after some really, for me, mediocre palettes. Loved it. Stays. Oh, this one stays because it has to. Tati Beauty palette. I'll be honest, I absolutely did not enjoy this row. It's not my colour scheme, but also I found that the metallic just didn't pick up. It was a bit bollocks, but the rest of them were good, so I don't know if that one just had a bit of a formulation problem. But yeah, I love this palette. I just like to look at it and think of all those good times. And then, there's my, I've been looking for this everywhere. Found it, putting it back in its place, which is, where is it? There. Okay, here we go. This is just some palettes that I've gotten rid of other palettes but felt the need to keep. This was all Viseart. This is the Marina dupe. I wish I could remember what it was called. It's an eyeshadow, but it was so beautiful. And then this, I think, was from a Kim Kardashian before she changed the name. I really didn't rate that palette. I spent so much money. Why did I even buy it? You know those things where you go, I don't know what I was thinking. It's like I got sucked up. Oh no, I bought it for an article. That's why, because I would never normally buy anything. Nothing, not just, yeah, no, it's all a bit, there's just so many other interesting formulas from other makeup brands that I would buy over a Kim Kardashian product. No hate, just not my cup of tea. But yeah, that stays simply because it's got my favourites in it and I'm too tired to be depotting it, which is really lazy of me, but such is life. Okay, and now we're getting into a few bits and bobs here. The Colourpop Kush Shadow. I do rate this so much. I don't know why I don't use it more. Oh, it's dried out. Okay, this goes. It's dried out. You can barely get anything on it. It's so pretty though. I'd purchase it again when they next do free shipping. That goes. And then we have these AOA Studio from Shop Miss A. Like, to me, I thought maybe they were Colourpop dupes. Oh, how are we going? That one's so pretty. Ah, Venetian Romance. Look at that. So nice that stays. I'm doing terrible at this. Oh my gosh. This is Betrothed. They're so creamy, but I don't like this one. It barely shows up on my skin, so let's get rid of that. And then we have the Era. And it's this lovely, like, antique greeny gold. I hope you can see it. I never use it, but I'm going to keep it. I can't. It's just too pretty. I'm terrible. And finally, we have Whirlwind. And that's like a... Where are we going to put that? Kind of more a true gold. I think I'm going to get rid of that one. It just looks a bit sick on my skin tone. And then finally, we just have some sticks. We have the Laura Mercier Natural Caviar Stick. That stays. The By Terry Ombre Black Star. That stays. They're always good to have. And the Bare Minerals. This actually just needs to go. It's really pretty, but it's, if you can see how janky it is, it's really janky. And every time I put it on my eyeballs, it just kind of flakes everywhere. Sad to see it go, but such is life. Okay, so that leaves us with the ones that I have to think about getting rid of. Natasha Denona. No, I'm going to get rid of it. Narcissist. I can't. That's Taupe. I'm just going to keep it for one more year. And this one, yes, I will get rid of it. Okay, so we're getting rid of this. We're getting rid of this. We're getting rid of these. And we'll get rid of these. And I feel good about that. Everything else, I just love it. And if it still brings you joy, why remove it from your life? That can be pretty much applied to everything, so long as it's not like really, really toxic. She says, feeling the after effects of something that brought her joy but is feeling very toxic right now. Oh God, this silly season needs to be done. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Still thinking about how I want to do my talk about Botox and how it worked or maybe didn't work. Spoiler alert for me. But yeah, that was not a story for today. Just needed a gentle eyeshadow declutter and just a little makeup chat. Well, have a good one. Stay cool. Enjoy your day.